Okay. Welcome to the webinar. I'm excited to be here with you. My name is Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy. And we're going to have some fun tonight. Tonight's topic is how to hit Success Club every single month with Teamzy. And tonight I'm going to take you through and show you exactly how to do it. I want to show you how to use Teamzy, how to set it up. Some of you may already be using Teamzy. But I want you guys to know a couple of things before we dive into the presentation, which is that when I was a Beachbody coach, I built Teamzy for this business. It is, even though Teamzy now serves 90 different networks and we've got, we've grown like crazy. This system was built by Beachbody coaches for Beachbody coaches with the specific purpose of helping you hit Success Club every month and continuously bringing new customers, challengers, and recruits to your team every single month. Okay. And so I'm going to show you tonight how that works. I'm going to show you exactly what it takes on a weekly basis to get there. But I also want to teach you a little bit about the philosophy behind what Teamzy does, the philosophy of relationship marketing. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about that too. And then at the end, we'll do some question and answer. So if you've got Q&A, got questions for me, there's a little Q&A thing. You can load questions in there at any point during the presentation if they come up. And at the end, I will answer them. Also, we are recording this too, so that if you miss pieces of it, you can come back. But definitely, I recommend getting a pad and paper because we're going to give you a lot of nuggets today, and you may want to write some of those things down. So let us dive right in. I see people popping in like crazy still. So let's talk about our topic, how to hit Success Club every single month with Teamzy. Just to give you guys some backstory, a lot of you don't know me. I was looking through the names, and there's not a lot of familiar faces, which is great. I love talking to some new people and sharing my story. So my story is my background is as a professional business coach and consultant. I've been in that industry 20 years now, helping people build relationships-based businesses. Okay, and I guess it was about, gosh, how many years ago was it now? About 6 years ago, I found Beachbody, and really changed my life, probably like a lot of you. And I'm that success story where I lost, 60 pounds in 90 days, and it was a life-changing weight loss. And then I started getting into the health and the fitness and just feeling like I had my life back and my energy back. And it was really, really incredible. Right. And I'm sure some of you guys can relate. And so I was just kind of going about my normal career job, and people were constantly asking me, "What are you doing? You look great. You seem so healthy. What are you up to?" And I was a customer. My wife finally told me, "Go be a coach, dummy. Everyone's asking you about it. Just go be a coach." So I went and I started my coaching business in I think it was about 2014. And I started building my coaching business. And just to kind of give you an idea of why I wanted to do that, even though I had a full-time job, and I had a career that I loved, absolutely loved being a consultant and helping people build their business based on relationships. Oh, here's a shot from the Beachbody days, just to give you guys an idea. Some of you guys can relate to this, right? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's an awesome, awesome company, and you guys have an awesome mission to help people. But oops, I went back too far. Here's a shot of the family, and this is what I need to show you guys this because I know you can relate to this. I was working all the time, and I never got to be around these amazing people. I never got to be with my family. I was constantly working. And and I had done well. My career was great. We made good income. Everything was great, but I never got to see my family. And I used to joke that I only saw them in their pajamas, right? I would see them in their pajamas in the morning when I leave for work, and then when I came home from work, the kids would be in their pajamas again. And I was missing everything in between, and I wanted something different for myself. And I saw the Beachbody opportunity as a great way for me to start kind of building some income on the side that maybe could give me that freedom of time, could give me that financial freedom, and could create some space in my life so that I could spend more time with my family. And so I was really excited to pursue it. The challenge that I had, and maybe some of you guys have this challenge, when in the world am I going to build this business when I already don't have any time? How am I going to squeeze this in? And I remember my sponsor asked me, Eric, how much time will you commit to your business on a daily basis? And I looked at my calendar. I said, maybe an hour. And so once I had committed to an hour a day, I thought, okay, great. How do I build my business in an hour a day? What tools? There must be some tools I could get out there and plug into that would help me leverage my time to be efficient and effective. And I went looking for tools, professional tools that were out there for Beachbody coaches. And you guys know the story. That's why you're here tonight. I didn't find anything. There was nothing there. There was a couple, here and there's tools, but they weren't based on relationship building, which is the key to the business and which is where my heart is, right? Because some of you guys might have been attracted to me saying, tonight I'm going to teach you how to do this without being salesy or spammy or icky. That's not me. So I had to build a system for myself. And then I shared it with about 20 coaches that I knew who were, at that time, we were all diamonds, and 20 coaches that I knew to see what they thought. And the next thing I know, Teamzy takes off. So long story short, what's happened in the past 5 years, we've had more than 120,000 network marketers use Teamzy, which is amazing. It's been an incredible journey. And just to give you an idea of results, our active users are averaging 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. That's the average. That's the average. And you guys are going to love this when I show you how easy it is to stay consistent with this stuff. Stay consistent with this stuff. But I want you guys to understand something. With Teamzy, you don't need to be salesy, icky, or spammy. Those are all the technical terms of our industry, right? The things that make us cringe. The things that make us cringe. You don't have to do that, okay? Teamzy uses the relationship marketing system, okay? And just to kind of give you guys a principle on, oh, sorry, that's a little out of order. Relationship marketing, it's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. It's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. We're going to focus on the relationships first. We're not just focused on getting a sale or selling a challenge pack or getting somebody to buy something. This is why people are turned off by our industry. No, we're going to focus on helping people. That's what Beachbody coaches do, is help people, right? Also, this is not some abstract feel-good concept. It's a proven system that we follow, always knowing what to do next. Okay, it's a proven system that we follow, always knowing what to do next. I have been teaching this system, you guys, for 20 years. I wouldn't still be doing this if it doesn't work every time, okay? So you guys are gonna love this. Also, relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. And the principle here is that you are in the lead generation business. You're business owners. Your job is to decide what lead generation system you'll use in your business. Now, I'm about to show you one that is not salesy, not cheesy, not spammy, and happens to work 100% of the time. So you roll the dice on this and decide. But just to kind of give you an idea of what made me so passionate to teach this to first to Beachbody coaches and now to the entire network marketing industry, is when my first month as a Beachbody coach, they put me into this group of corporate, Beachbody corporate, put me into a group. And just full disclosure, for some of you who don't know, I'm not a Beachbody coach now because compliance rules with Teamzy, I couldn't be. But my first month as a Beachbody coach, they put me in this group of other diamonds because it was my first month and I had no clue. And we had this great rep from corporate that led these Zoom calls, and we would get on here and share ideas and whatnot. And I couldn't believe that nobody understood relationship building. They were doing stuff like go for no. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I would never go for no. Like, honestly, you'd have to put me, like, I think that if you'd have to take my family hostage to make me go for no. I just don't like rejection. How many of you guys like to feel rejected and to burn relationships? No way. I would never do that. They were like, we're going to do this go for no challenge. I'm like, no way. I'm not doing that. Let me do the recruiting training and I'll teach you guys a different way. But here's what I want you guys to know. The way this business has been traditionally built, building lists and just cranking through them and just slamming people with offers and stuff they're not interested in. There's a much better way to do it, okay? There's a much more effective way to do it, and a way that lets you share your heart as somebody who wants to coach people and really help them. So stay tuned. We're going to kind of unpack that for you as we go. Here's the principle I want you to get here. One of your principles: developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. It's not to make sales, not to make profit. That will happen as a result of building and deepening relationships. Does this make sense? I want you guys to understand that that is what you're doing in a business. Why is it so important to build relationships? Because we will turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. We'll turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. Guys, an advocate is somebody who's so excited about what you're doing that they bring people to your business. And all of us are advocates for other businesses. The businesses that get us, we're so excited about their mission that we bring people to them. And I want you guys to understand something about building this business that's so crucial. There's going to be people who aren't interested in joining your challenge groups. They don't want Shakeology. They don't want to be engaged in your in anything, but they love what you're doing. They love how you're helping people, and they will bring people to you who need your help. This is the whole point of this. And I want you guys to know this. I'm going to show you how to hit Success Club every month. That means sales and recruits. But I'm also going to tell you that the people that you touch along the way will become advocates, and they will bring people to you too, which is pretty cool. Okay. Next principle, relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work. And it also means that you can't do anything shady. You can't do anything disingenuous. You can't do anything that's slightly iffy or salesy or spammy, or you will lose trust. So can we get an amen and a deep breath on that one? You don't have to do any of that stuff, which is really cool. Now, here's the good news. Trust makes the work fun, because when people trust you, even just a little bit, you don't have to convince them. You don't have to sell them. You can get right to helping them. Isn't that why we're here? Totally. Also, trust removes the ickiness from the sales process. You don't ever have to feel icky. You're not going to make them feel icky if you're building trust. And finally, you get to go for yes. So forget the go for no stuff. Forget it. Please tell them no. That's not me. That's not congruent with my heart. I'm not doing that anymore. You get to go for yes. You get to go for yes. So how do you build trust? I'm just going to teach this to you quickly, and then we'll dive into Teamzy and I'll take you through the demo. But first off, I want you guys to know there's 4 essential ingredients to building trust. 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Okay. And I'll go through them quickly, then I'll break them out for you. Number 1 is chemistry. Chemistry. Number 2 is character. Okay. Character. Number 3 is competence. Competence is number 3. And number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. All right, let's break these down. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Look, the easiest way to think of this is like this. People prefer to do business with a friend. Okay, you guys already know this. People prefer to do business with a friend. You need to find common ground so people can relate to you. You need to build some rapport, build some empathy with them. How do you do that? You ask them questions. You find out about them. You learn about them. Okay, you learn about them. It's much faster to build chemistry when you learn about them than as opposed to trying to teach them about yourself. Does this make sense? So find out about them. What's going on? And social media gives us such a shortcut to this, right? Because we can gather some of this from their social media. Hey, I noticed this, I like this too, that kind of stuff. But chemistry, number 1, we have to find common ground with people because they want to do business with a friend. They want to feel connected to you. Okay. Remember, guys, they are not buying from Beachbody. They are buying from you. You are the reason they're connecting to Beachbody. Does this make sense? So it's about your relationship. Number 2 is character. Number 2 is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. If you've ever seen me teach on this, I always say this: you don't have character. You don't have character. Character is something you do. It's an action you take on a daily basis. Character is when we demonstrate our care for others. And this is so important. I mean, you guys think about it. Think about businesses that you've decided not to work with because the character is iffy, right? Your character is what matters the most, no matter what. So I want you to think of this. Everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you post, you need to filter through your own character lens. Am I showing how much I care for others right now? Is this opinion I'm about to put on Instagram or on Facebook showing my care for others? Is this, down to, how you follow up with your customers? Are you showing your care? How you, I always laugh when I say this, but it's true. How you drive your car on the roads. Are you showing care for others? I want you to think 24/7 about how you're demonstrating care for others. When you do that, when people see, it doesn't matter what kind of character you actually have. What matters, it matters that you have good character. My point is, you can have good character, but you need to be demonstrating it. You need to be showing care for other people. You need to be acting it out. This is a huge piece of your business, you guys. And the relatable piece is so important. For those of you who have already built a successful business, you have to stay relatable. People need to remember that you're just like them, right? For us, sometimes it means staying in touch with those embarrassing before pictures and constantly sharing the people where you started, understanding where you started. Does this make sense? I wish I had put it in this presentation, a picture of it. But some of you, I don't know if there's anyone, I haven't looked at the participant list to see who's here from back in my day in Beachbody, but some of you might remember Teamzy started in a woodshed in the backyard of my house because we didn't have enough room in my house for an office. It was the shed where you'd put your lawnmower. Honestly, I ran an extension cord out there and I used to do these trainings in my shed, right? And so it's where you come from. It's how relatable you are and how much you care for people on a daily basis. Number 3 is competence. Competence is number 3. So I need to like you. I need to believe in your character, but I also need to know that you're good at what you do and that you're a business person. Competence is when you demonstrate that you're good at what you do and you're a business person. I mean, honestly, do you know how to help me? I mean, if I need to lose 60 pounds and I need to get in shape, like, can you help me? Like, have you become knowledgeable in this? Do you understand the basics of nutrition and how the Beachbody nutrition plans work? Can you help me with certain things? Are you there to field questions when I'm not sure the proper form for a squat? Stuff like that. Competence, Beachbody coach competence. Are you competent? Why should I choose you to be my coach? You're not just a salesperson, right? You're my coach. I need to know that you're competent. How would I know that? I only know that when you demonstrate it, when you're showing me, when you're posting about it, when I can see your knowledge publicly, right? When I see you answering questions and helping people, and I see the people that I know getting great results with you. This is important that I see your competence. That's the first piece. If you want customers and challengers, you got to demonstrate competence. The second half of this is, are you a business person? Do I believe you can mentor me to be successful as a coach? Why would I join your team? Right? I need to be seeing that you're competent. And look, if you're like me, people were like, that guy's into health and fitness now. Like, they knew me as overweight, overeating, smoking. I mean, you name it, I was unhealthy. So it took me a while to convince people that I could competently help them get healthy. Right? So this is important that you share your journey. You got to share your growth and show them what you're doing that's differently and show them how you're progressing. And the same is true for the business. You have to show them that you're hitting milestones, that you're ranking up, that you're holding successful challenge groups, that you're going on success club trips, right? So you start showing people that you're building that competence. Now, just really quick on this, I don't want to go too long on this, but you can be the most competent person in the world, but what matters is you demonstrating it. Okay, keep that. But the other piece of this is, if you're brand new, and I don't know if we have any brand new coaches on this call, but if you're brand new and you don't feel like you have this competence yet, what you need to do is really focus on talking about your team, your teammates, your upline, your sideline, and how amazing the group of people you're connected to is. Right? So don't ever pretend to be competent where you're not, but just explain to people that you're part of an amazing team. Right? If you have questions, I'm connected to the experts, right? I'm on the journey. Some of you are brand new and you haven't lost any weight yet. And you're like, how am I going to coach other people to do it? Well, you get them to join you, right? Who's coaching you? Get them to join you, type thing. So it's important that we talk about the competence of our team. And leaders, make sure that your people know to lean on your competence as they're building their own. Does this make sense? So the first 3 ways to build trust: chemistry, character, competence. And there's a principle that underlies these before I jump to number 4. And I just want to explain this to you, that when somebody's considering doing business with you, they really only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? Now think about this. Because if somebody believes all 3 of these are yes, you have an advocate. If somebody's not sure about one or any of these, you have objections, right? Which is fine. You'll get objections. You got to learn to overcome and help people through their objections. But if somebody is certain that one of these is no, they will never do business with you. It's like, some of you are like, this is the one thing I need from this training. Great. Get that down. And as you build relationships, people will understand it's yes for all of these. Okay. All right. Number 4 is consistency. Oh, Eric, we actually have to do some work. Yes, you have to do work. Now, look, the beautiful thing is, I'm talking to Beachbody coaches, and you guys understand the power of consistency. Consistency is what helps us become successful. You got to be consistent, right? You got to get your workouts in consistently. You got to drink your Shakeology. You got to be a product of your product. Am I right? You got to be sharing your story on social media consistently. You got to be consistently doing the things so people can see that you are living the life they can trust you to lead them through. Does this make sense? It's so important. It's so important. People are not going to trust you if you're not consistent. And some people are going to, some of the people closest to you are waiting to see if you can be consistent. Now, there's kind of a bonus to this, though. When you are consistent, there's a bonus thing that happens. And that's this: people respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. This means that not only does your consistency help you, but it helps people, and it helps people trust you, but it draws people to you. This is what builds your team. People want to be part of what you're doing. And some of you have been told by friends and family that you're inspiring them. And you think, I'm inspiring you. But look at it's your consistency. It's your consistency that's inspiring them. And you guys have to understand this is huge. It draws people to your team. And so, I know you guys are probably, you guys can raise your hand, raise your hand button if this is you, but how many of you are consistent products of the product? You do your workouts consistently, you drink your Shakeology, like you're Beachbody all the way. I see the hands going up. Good. Hopefully everybody raises their hands, because I'm here to tell you guys, this is not going to work if you're not. How many of you are consistent on social media? You're posting on social media, you're sharing a story. People actually know you're a Beachbody coach, you're open for business, and you're helping people. Okay, good. I see hands going up. This is good. This is good. Here's the real question, though. Here is the checkup from the neck up, as Zig Ziglar used to say. Are you as consistent with your relationships? Are you as consistent with your relationships? What do I mean by that? I mean, are you as consistent about staying in touch with people as you are about posting on social media, for example? This is huge, you guys, because relationship building is a contact sport. Relationships, the key to the business. Relationship building is a contact sport, which means you have to be in regular contact with people. If you want a relationship, you got to be in regular contact. But I understand your time is scarce, which, by the way, is why I built Teamzy, so that you can be in regular contact with people, and it takes minimal amount of your time to do it, right? Which is we're going to show you in a second. But I want you to get this principle really quick. This principle: investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Now, just really quick on this, I just want to give you guys a quick example on this. So, how many of you have ever received from somebody that you care about a really, like a great card or a letter with that handwritten message in it? You guys know the message, the one where when you read it, it was like, oh, man, it just gets you right in the heart. Have you guys ever received anything like that? Hopefully, hopefully all of you have. Now, think about that for a second. When you read that letter and it touched your heart, what did you do afterwards with it? Did you throw it in the trash? How many of you have a special place where you stash these cards and letters you've received over the years? You just can't part with them. Isn't that amazing? We all do this. We all keep them. We save them forever. In fact, even when we're gone, like when we pass away, our family usually treasures those cards and letters more than our possessions. I mean, probably all of you, maybe some of you have a card or letter from somebody dear to you who's passed on that you've saved. It has value even beyond our lives. It's amazing. But here's another example. And remember, this is this principle. I'm just giving you this example. This is a happy birthday postcard that I received from my life insurance sales representative. Have you guys ever received one of these postcards before? Probably, right? My dog gets one from the vet on her birthday, right? And so these are nice. Are these nice to have? I mean, I guess they're kind of nice. Do you save this? Do these postcards get saved in that special treasure trove of your most treasured cards and letters? Of course not. This is immediately thrown away in most cases, right? It's kind of like nice to get, and then you chuck it. Why? What makes this so different? It's a happy birthday card, right? It's a nice thought, isn't it? So let's go back to the principle. If you want to deepen relationships, there's two things you must do, right? You need to invest time and you need to connect personally. Well, this requires no investment of time. And so we put zero value on it. We don't value this because we know it required no investment of time. He didn't have to do anything. This is an automatic thing, right? Not only that is it's impersonal. This kind of thing is not personal. It's not even to me. It just says, here's to another great year of you. So I know this is a bulk mail out. Does it make sense? So I don't value it because it's not personal and because it took no investment of time. Meanwhile, somebody who takes 5 minutes to write a heartfelt message in a birthday card, I might keep forever. It might live on in my family after I'm gone. What a difference. 5 minutes of investment versus zero, and it's treasured. Now, I'm not saying that you need to write people letters and cards all day long in your business to make your business grow. However, whenever you can think of a good reason to send somebody a handwritten note or card, you should do it. I mean, the first thing I would do if I were you is get cards printed up. I printed up personal note cards. Wait, is my box? Look, my box is empty. This is how good I'm at. I ordered some off the internet that have my logo on it. They're blank, and I write people notes. So you can do that. But look, with social media, messaging people, texting people, you can spend literally 1 or 2 seconds. It's still an investment of time, and it's just in them, and it makes their day. Oh my gosh. And it works, you guys. I'm going to show you how to do it with Teamzy, but the idea that you invest a few seconds just into one person, where you give them your complete mind share for a few seconds, unbelievable the impact you can make on people. Does this make sense? Is this making sense? Okay, good. All right. Let me just get in here real quick, and then we'll jump back over to our, we'll get into Teamzy in a second here. I think I have one more screen. So make sure you get that principle down. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. All right, now this is all great philosophically. I know you guys are loving it. You're still here, but you need a system. You got to have a way to stay in contact with all of your relationships. Remember, this is the key to deepening them. You need to know when you're going to contact people. In other words, do you know when you're going to contact people? Or do you go, who am I going to talk to this month? Know what you're going to say. And if you're anything like me, I want it to be perfect. So I would stare at that screen forever, trying to think of the perfect message. So you need to know what to say. And I'm going to show you guys how we're going to help with that. And make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. This is a huge problem. Make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. All right. So obviously we've got this system to show you. This is called Teamzy. Let me dive over there and show you. Now, first off, I want you guys to know Teamzy has a free trial. So go to teamzy.com. You can get a free trial. You can try it for free. We will not ask for your credit card number or anything weird. Like we don't do anything cheesy like that. You can go use it for free and try it out. Okay. After the free trial time is up to continue on with Teamzy, it's less than the commission on one Shakeology sale. Right. And I even have a special deal for you tonight at the end. I'm going to give you even a better deal than that, but that's our normal price. It's less than the commission on one Shakeology. I mean, seriously, right? If we don't help you do that, then we're not doing our job. Okay. So let me show you what this looks like. Once you sign up for your free trial of Teamzy, it's going to take you into this setup wizard. This is designed to make setting up Teamzy so incredibly easy. Okay. And so you're just going to come in here and follow through the steps. Okay. There's a little video for me. We'll skip that. Now check this out. This is really cool. You want to set your goal for your income goal in Teamzy. So how much money would you like to be earning per year, a year in the future, right? So I set my goal for 150,000 because that was my salary that I was hoping to replace with my Beachbody business. Now you can move this up or down to wherever you want it, okay? So, what happens is when you move this, it changes how many people you need to reach out to every day. Do you see those numbers changing? It's pretty cool. So look, I'm going to put it back at 150. Now, for those of you who are 6-figure earners or above in Beachbody, just look at this little extra info here. If you're already making 6 figures and above, then set your goal to be the difference, the amount of growth you want to see in the next year. Okay. Not the full amount. Okay. So you can see at $150,000 goal, I need to connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 coaches on my team every day. Okay, 19 people. Honestly, I could do that in 15 minutes in Teamzy, but we're going to assume it'll take you 30 minutes to start. All right, so we'll just plan on that, and I'll show you how to do it in a second. So let's hit continue once you have that number where you want it. The next step here is we're going to get your contacts in. And there's some instructions here on how to get contacts out of the back office. You'll want to get your coaches imported first, then all of your customers. right? And then you can import your Facebook friends, your Instagram followers. You can get a fast start by importing your social lists. Isn't that cool? Like for me, I was a big Facebook user, and so getting my Facebook friends was a game changer because I had this printout from Beachbody where you like write 10 names. That wasn't going to get me very far. I needed all my Facebook friends cycling through Teamzy so I could connect with them. So once you get all your contacts into Teamzy, you guys, it's unbelievable because you'll be so organized. You no more sticky notes, pads of paper, digging through your phone. I mean, forget it. It's going to be all in one place. Teamzy's cloud-based, which means you always have it if your smartphone's near you, right? And it's always near you, let's be honest. The other thing that's going to happen, I'll show you this in a second, is not only will they all be in your phone where you need them, but Teamzy has a special smart algorithm that I'll show you in a second so that it cycles that list for you automatically. So you're always in touch with everybody. You don't have to think about it. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. There's no thinking. You just turn it on and go every day. It's so awesome. Okay, so here's the Tmz dashboard. Now you guys are looking at this right now on my computer. Again, if you do it on your smartphone, it's going to be slightly different, more shaped like this, but you can still do just about everything here. So first thing I want you to see is right here where it says today's activities. So these are the goals for today. So I've got a goal to connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, 4 coaches. Okay. And that's based on my income goals. Now I've also got a share goal. All right. A share. So share is like an invite, but just a little bit stronger than an invite. Okay. It's just a little bit stronger than an invite. And I'll explain to you guys what that means in a second. And then I've got new ads, people I'm adding to my team, people I'm adding to my Teamzy, every day. New people I'm meeting, people I hadn't thought of. I just want to keep it fresh and constantly add people to Teamzy. Okay, so those are my daily goals. So my goal was to make $150,000 a year, but today I just need to do this 1 power hour. Now Teamzy is based on the power hour concept. Some of you guys may have discovered my book, Power Hour Boss, but it's designed for you to get this done in 1 hour. So you're just going to do today's activities. It's today's 1 hour or less done. And you do this 5 days a week and you will hit that goal in 12 months. I'm telling you guys, this system is so predictable. You just got to do the work. So let me show you how this works. The power hour right here is where we do our work. Now, just to kind of give you some background, Teamzy is a CRM. And some of you may know what that means. It means contact relationship management software. CRM. So everybody's data is in here. You've got everybody's phone number, their address, their dog's name, what their favorite Starbucks drink is. All the records of all your conversations are all logged in Teamzy. That's all in here. But instead of this just being a filing cabinet of information, it actually helps you just know what to do next. So you just come here to the front page where this power hour module is, and you just follow the prompts. So let me show you guys how to do this. Excuse me a sec. Frog in my throat. It's like I've been talking for half an hour straight. Okay. So when I do my power hour, I've got 4 lists. I've got prospects, customers, coaches, and my follow-ups list. So there's 4 lists. Each list gives me 5 names at a time. That's so I can't get overwhelmed, right? It also keeps me from skipping around too much, keeps me focused. Now on the right-hand side is where I log what message I send. So it's tracked as I go. Now, I know tracking is a pain, but it's key to the business, you guys, because if you don't track, you can't measure. And if you can't measure, you can't grow, right? But even more specifically, in Teamzy, tracking resets the clock on that person. See, Teamzy is going to cycle everybody through your list based on their star ranking and the last time you connected with them. So let me explain what that means. You see these little numbers next to people's name? That's how many stars I've given them in Teamzy. So 5-star people come up first, then 4 stars, then 3s and 2s, and right, makes sense. But then what happens is when I connect with a 5-star person, they come back into my list automatically 30 days later. So my 5-star people cycle pretty often. Every 30 days, I'm connecting with them. 4-star people come back every 60 days. Okay. 3-star people come back every 90 days. This allows me to stay in touch with everybody without having to think or plan. I just see who's up in Teamzy today. Does this make sense? It's cool, isn't it? I know. So let's just do this. Let's do a power hour together and I'll show you how this works. The first person on my list is Jay. So I'm going to reach out and connect with Jay. Now I'm going to message her on Facebook because we're Facebook friends. And so I've got Facebook open right here in a separate tab. We'll go there in a second. Okay. So what do I say to her? This is where I used to get stuck. What do I say to Jay? How do I start this conversation without being cheesy or salesy or spammy? Right. And it took me a long time to figure this out. So I'm going to shortcut it for you. And about a year, maybe 2 years after we'd launched Teamzy, so many coaches were asking me for dialogue because, I throw them out in these trainings. They say, it sounds so easy. Can you do it? So what we did was we added a full scripts library to Teamzy. Now, these aren't cheesy scripts. These are just conversational scripts, icebreakers, things that we call them make someone's day scripts. Okay. We want to make someone's day. That's the goal here. When we're doing a power, our goal is just to make people's day. Why? Because by making people's day, you open the door to having a conversation with them. By just, the whole go for no concept of just throwing stuff out, trying to see who's interested or not. Well, it turns a lot of people off that might be interested. You just came at them wrong. Does this make sense? So let's just start a conversation first and show people we care about them. So how do we do this? So just go to your scripts right here, click on it and pick one. So I'm going to go to Facebook and I'll just take the first one off the list. Connect number one. Here's how it reads. It says, "Hi Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome." So simple. And you just click on copy script. That copies to the clipboard. Okay, so now what I can do is you could go straight to Facebook and send it. I'm going to actually paste it in Teamzy first so I can edit it and make sure I don't send the wrong name. I've done that a few times. Okay, so get the name right. Maybe some emojis. How many of you guys are addicted to emojis? I love putting emojis in there. Hey, it didn't work. Where's my emoji thing? Gonna pop? There it is. There's my emoji thing. So I don't know, whatever emojis you want to put. That's probably a weird one, but that was the first one on my list. Okay, you get the idea. So I got my emojis, whatever you want to do to personalize this. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy this because I have to actually go send it to her in Facebook. So I've got that open. I'm just going to look up Jay. There she is. Jay Lisa Swain. Great. There it is. We're going to send her this message. Okay. Hold on a second. I got to move this up a little. There we go. So I'm just going to paste that message in there and send it to her. Okay. Done. So I've sent her the message. I'll toggle back to Teamzy and I'll log that in Teamzy. That was a Facebook message, big blue log connect button, done. So now the connect's logged. Look at this. I've got one done. This little circle starting to fill in blue. I've got 8 to go. Next up is Abigail. Now look, just use the same script. It's already on the clipboard. Let's paste it in there, change the name to Abigail. Now look, guys, I just want to give you a little pro tip here. Always put their name in the first message every time you start a new conversation thread. Always put their first name in it. That's how they know it's personal and not some bot you got to do your work for you. Does it make sense? So same thing. I'll go send this to her on Facebook. I'll log it here. And now you can see I'm making progress. 2 done. The circle's filling in. So these circles are your visual cue that you're doing work. So I'm going to keep working down this list, this prospects list, until my circle's all the way blue. That lets me know I'm done with my goal for today. And you don't have to keep going. Honestly, guys, you can just stop at today's. In fact, I recommend you stop at today's. If you go way past your goal for a day, sometimes it blows up your inbox a little too much. Okay. Just a little quick story about this. I just got to tell you guys the story because it's really funny. It was actually November, just like it's November now. It was November 2015. Teamzy was almost ready to launch. We actually launched it December 16th, 2015. So it was November. I was the only person in the world who had Teamzy. I was still a Beachbody coach. And I was so excited because I got my Facebook list imported into Teamzy and I just started messaging people. I messaged that exact script I just shared with you. And I was like, this is so easy. I messaged 43 people, my best people, because I had already ranked them. 43 my people, boom, 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 in a row, the same message. My wife, and I was out in my shed, my wood shed, freezing in November. I'm in San Diego, but so it's not that freezing, but it's still cold. I was out in my shed working. I messaged 43 people. It took me about an hour probably, and I was like, that was so great. And I went inside, to my house to do whatever, and my phone just started going crazy. And it was so much in one day, I have to tell you guys. But I will also tell you that that's when I knew Teamzy was going to work because I had 26 Success Club points that month, November 2015. You can look it up. And what was cool about it was I got a personal handwritten note from Carl with a $100 bill in it. And I was like, this is so awesome. So I want you guys to know that you don't need to go crazy. Just do your daily amount. what you're supposed to do each day, just so it kind of layers and you can keep up with it. Make sense? Okay. So here we go. So you got your prospects. When you're done with those, you click over to your customers. You start connecting with them the same way. Look, just stay in touch with your customers. We got some great scripts in here. Look, I'll just share some of them. So I love this one. You're doing so great. I'm proud of you. Congratulations on losing 8 pounds, right? It's better than saying, would you like to add anything to your order this month? Like just checking in with people. I like this one. Hi, John, how are your workouts coming along? Are you drinking your water and shakes? Please send me an update. Let me know I can be of help. Just checking in on people, right? Here's my favorite one. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Okay, so look, I'm going to show you how to do it again. Copy the script you like, paste it in there. Okay. Change the name, customize it however you want, some emojis. Okay, go send it. So if I'm Facebook friends, I'm going to copy this, go send it on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Actually, it's the same now, isn't it? Messenger is now Instagram and Facebook, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to send that message to her, log it, keep going. Same thing on your customers. Now the circle's turning pink. My goal is 6 customers a day. So I'm going to go through my customer list. So this would be, I would also include all the free leads you get from Beachbody that are in here. So you can stay in touch with those people. They convert if you stay in touch with them at a lower level, but put them in here. So look, I just want you guys to understand something on this with customers. Staying in touch with customers is a huge part of this business. If you want to hit Success Club every month, you got to stay in touch with all your past customers, all your current customers. I mean, if they've canceled, that's fine. Stay in touch with them. Stay in touch with them. Do you know how often people cancel and come back to Beachbody? It's normal. So stay in touch with them. They'll come back. They're going to be like, I need to cancel because I have 10 bags of Shakeology. And then they're going to come back because they were like, I've been out of Shakeology forever. I need to come back. So stay in touch with them. Okay, stay in touch with them. The customer base is how we build our volume. So you want to keep doing that, right? Now, here's the cool thing about this. Statistically, if you're in regular contact with customers, they order more and they retain longer. Okay, so let me just say that again. Statistically, if you're in regular contact with your customers, they order more and they retain longer. So they'll order more products and they'll retain longer. Okay, so for me, when I was a coach, it was like, first I want to get you drinking I want to get you drinking Shakeology. Great. Now that you love Shakeology, we need more than one bag because I know your husband is stealing all your Shakeology. So get 2 bags. Great. What about your parents? I mean, at their age, they need nutrition. So I want to get you buying Shakeology for your parents. So as you're in touch with your customers, they're going to order more products. I actually had, I'll never forget, a good friend of mine. She messaged me and she said, what else should I be using? What other products should I be using? She says, could you do a video of all the products that we should be using for Beachbody? And I was like, okay. So I did a video where I was like, this is the Beachbody workout mat. And this is and I just went through, these are my favorite Beachbody products. And I had a slew of customers placing additional orders. I want you guys to know, if you're in regular contact with customers, they will order more products, they will retain longer. Not because you're a great salesperson, but because you have a relationship, because you're in contact, because they're thinking about you more. Does this make sense? So do it. Use Teamzy, stay in touch. Now, there's another great reason to stay in contact with customers, and that's this. How many of you guys can think of like 1 or 2 customers that you just, oh my gosh, I love these people. I love the fact that I'm helping them. It's so fulfilling. I wish I had more people just like this in my business. How many of you guys can think of somebody like that? Where do you go find more people like that? Right? Is there some Instagram training we can take on how to find people like that are like our perfect customers? I want you guys to understand something. The best place to find a great customer is from a great customer. Your customers are the best place for you to find new customers because they have friends and family that they're talking to about Beachbody. Okay, so if you have a customer who's getting great results, I guarantee you they're talking about Beachbody. 82% of people say that they make a purchasing decision based on the recommendation of a friend. So they're talking to people about Beachbody. Their friends now have that recommendation from somebody they trust. They're very likely to buy. The question is this: are you getting introduced to those people? Are your customers introducing you to your friends and family? And I want you guys to understand, they will not do that unless you ask them to. And you don't have permission to ask them to introduce you to friends and family unless you're staying in touch. Make sense? Stay in touch. Then it's natural. To just say, let's see who's on here. Just to just say, hey, Kelly, I know you've been getting amazing results and I'm so proud of you. And I'm sure you've probably told people about Beachbody that you care about. And before I get too busy this month, is there anybody that you care about that needs more information on my next challenge group? Oh, really? Great. Your friend Allison was interested in maybe doing it. Perfect. Would you mind introducing me to Allison? Just a group text or whatever, group Facebook message, something easy. And I'll just get her some more info on it and we'll take it from there. Okay? It's very simple to ask people to introduce you to their friends and family, but you have to earn the right by being in touch and showing them that you care about them. Does this make sense? And then it becomes very easy every month to get new people brought to your business by the current people that you're working with. This is the magic, you guys. This is how you build a business without having to constantly beat the bushes for your whole life, trying to cold prospect out in the world. Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? Now, guess what happens? When her friend Allison comes to my next challenge group, she already knows and trusts me. Why? Because her friend told her all about me. I don't have to like warm her up. She's in. Does this make sense? It's so much fun. Now, what happens when Kelly gives me a couple of people and they're interested? Now I have a great opportunity to go back to Kelly and say, have you ever thought about being a coach? This, by the way, is the number one easiest way to recruit great coaches that build the business, is by showing them how easy it was to get 3 of their friends involved. Does this make sense? So you do the work with that first few, you get them excited, you set them up as a coach, you put their friends under them. Now you've got a coach building the business. You get them into Teamzy, they've got a system to follow. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? And so many coaches neglect their customers. And I've talked to a lot of superstar diamond coaches who are like, I have so many customers. I don't even know if I can get them all into Teamzy. It's like, you're doing all this work. Your downline is doing all this work and you've got this gold mine. You just need to stay in touch with them. Just stay in touch with them. Okay. So going back to our power hour, we've talked about our prospects. We've talked about our customers. The last group is our coaches. This is your team. This is your team. And so you want to stay in touch with your team and let them know you love them, let them know you care about them. Look, if you're new and you have 2 people on your team, this is going to be easy. But as your team grows, this will be a challenge. And it's so important that you continue to connect personally with the people on your team, especially at least your first level people, right? First level people and the leaders on your team as your team grows. But look, you guys need to understand this. The turnover in our business is massive, right? This is the training you don't get from corporate, how to stop the bleeding in your business, because they don't want to talk about, the turnover. But here's the number: it's 50% a year on average, 50% a year, which means you recruit 2 coaches, you lose 1. That's a bummer, right? But there is a way to impact that. There is a way to improve on that, and that is through relationship. People stay because they feel connected to you. People will stay, and the longer they stay, the better chance they have of being successful, right? And that's why we're here to help people. So they will stay because they feel connected with you. This is why this is called Teamzy, because the emphasis is on the team. The emphasis is on building the team, building the culture, and loving on people. So it's simple. You just put your coaches in here. When they come up, you send them a quick message. Hey, I was thinking about you today. Hey, I'm proud of you. Hey, I saw you did this. Good for you. Or do you need anything? How have you been? Just quick messages. And of course, we've got some scripts in here to help you too. After you get coaches that are building and they're in Teamzy, you send them the message that says, I get these all the time. Hey, you're top of my list in Teamzy today. How the heck are you? Which is cool. At least they know you care. Look, guys, just real quick on this. I know I've been kind of talking a lot, and God bless you guys for staying on with me so long. I want to give you the goods because I love you guys. But I never forget, my wife Lisa and I had won this Success Club trip. It was like this cruise on the Caribbean. I don't know if any of you guys were on that. This was a few years ago. And it was like on this massive ship, and the whole ship was Beachbody coaches. I was so cool. And so we're on this ship, and at this point, Teamzy's starting to kind of be a buzz, and people are like, are you the Teamzy guy? You're the Teamzy guy. You're the Teamzy guy. Yeah. So I remember I was talking to this coach. We were just like on the deck, just chatting, and she was qualifying 8-star. Really awesome. Like, so I was so amazed and proud of her. Like, she was doing great, qualifying 8-star. And she'd done it in a pretty short period of time. And I told her, I said, wow, that's really quite an amazing accomplishment. And I said, who's your coach? And she told me, and her coach was one of the top superstar coaches, like the ones we're all like, whoa, celebrity time. I said, wow, she's your personal coach? She says, yeah. And I said, do you talk to her on a regular basis? Like, do you like when we coach people, we're talking to them all the time, right? Like, do you talk? She goes, well, no, not really. I mean, not since I've signed up, but I have access to her if I need to set an appointment with her assistant or, and I said, well, how would you feel right now? I mean, this is an amazing accomplishment. How would you feel right now if your phone buzzed and you had a text from her and it just said, hey, I heard you're qualifying 8-star. I'm really proud of you. Great job. And you know what happened? Honestly, you guys, this is a true story. She started crying. And the thought of that was so moving to her that she started crying. She's like, I'm so sorry. I don't even know why I'm crying. I'm so embarrassed. And I said, no, it's okay. I understand. These relationships mean so much to us, you guys. And all of us want to know that somebody's proud of us, that they care for us, that they actually know that we exist, right? So as you build your team, I just want you guys to know what's going to make the difference in retention of coaches is being in touch with them. And that's why we built Teamzy to help you do. So we're going to help you. We're going to help you create new customers. We're going to help you recruit new people. But we also want to help you keep the coaches you have, keep them engaged, keep them building. Does this make sense? That's why the third part of the power hour every day is reaching out to a few coaches on your team. Make sense? All right. So there's one more piece of the power. So look, the first half of your power hour, this will take you about 30 minutes, depending on your goal, to reach out to prospects, customers, and coaches. They're just outgoing messages. Your goal is just to send a message that makes their day. When they respond, you can have a conversation, right? But wait till you're done with the power hour. Get all the outgoing messages done first so you don't get too sidetracked. Now, here's what happens. When I actually have a great conversation with somebody, and now I'm listening to them and I'm uncovering interest and finding out what their challenges are and asking them what their goals are. Now, when I get to a point where I actually can share, where I invite them to my challenge group or I share a product sample with them or something like that. Now I'm going to move them kind of from my just reaching out to make their day as a prospect to my follow-ups list. The follow-ups list is where I put people who I've shared with, right? Who I've shared with. So they're interested people. The follow-ups list is like your hot pipeline. Now, I don't need to set a follow-up for people just to stay in touch because Teamzy does it automatically. They cycle through the who's up next list in the power hour. My follow-ups is going to be the people that I'm really working on. So let me just give you an example. I messaged my friend Jay at the beginning of our power hour. Let's imagine she responded. Great to hear from you. Usually that first response is not going to be amazing, right? It's just going to be like, oh my gosh, great to hear from you. That was nice. So now she's responded. I have a chance to have a conversation with her. So I'm just going to, ask her some questions like, oh, what have you been up to? How have you been? It's been a while since we've caught up. Send me an update. Tell me what you've been up to. Right? What'd you guys do for the weekend, for the holiday weekend or whatever the case may be, just catching up. The goal is to catch up. And I just want to get her chatting with me. Right. And so she's going to say, oh, like we recently had Halloween, like, how was Halloween? What did you guys do? So she's going to tell me a little bit, and so I'm just going to try to engage her in conversation and just keep it light. Just keep it light. Whatever you do, don't look up the form training and ask deep questions. Like if you were on a desert island, what record album would you bring? It's like, what? I haven't talked to you since high school. Why are you asking me weird questions? Just keep it light. What have you been up to? How's your life going? And people will open up to you. They'll tell you how things are going with their family, their kids, their dog. Ask them, like, how's work going? Or what are you doing for work these days? Find out what's going on with them. Now, what happens is, I just want you guys to know this is the most natural way to talk about your business is you find out what everything that's going on in their life, and then you tell them what's going on in your life. It's called a law of reciprocity. They just told you about your life, their life. Now you should tell them about your life, or it'd be weird. And so as you're telling them about what's going on with you and your family and your Beachbody business, tell them about your Beachbody business. Now, here's the key piece to this. If you're taking notes, write this piece down. Tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it. So what do you do specifically? Do you help people lose weight? Do you help people find their optimum health? Are you focused in on athletes, performance? I mean, what is it about Beachbody that you're passionate about? Share that with people. They need to know what you do and why you're passionate about it. Here's what I guarantee you will happen. Every single person will say, wow, that's great. Good for you. Wow, that's amazing. Awesome. That sounds cool. How many of you guys have, every time you told somebody you're in Beachbody, have gotten that response? That's great. That's awesome. It's probably the way you did it, right? Because people think you're trying to get something from them. But when you're just having a conversation, you're like, hey, and I found this cool thing that I'm passionate about. Here's what I'm doing. They're like, cool, that's great for you. Are you guys with me? No matter what happens with this conversation, she knows I'm a Beachbody coach. She knows that I help people and how I help people and that I'm passionate about it. right? I've planted that in her mind. I've planted that in her mind. Now, if she's super enthusiastic, I'm just going to ask her, yeah, let me know if you'd like to learn more, or if you'd ever like to learn more, or if you ever are interested in joining one of my challenge groups, my fitness groups, let me know. Eric, is it really that easy? It's really that easy, you guys. It's really that easy. Yeah, just let me know if you'd ever like to do it. Now, if you're posting on social media and stuff, they're already getting half the story from that. So your personal conversation is backed up by what they've been seeing on social, your activity, and how you're helping people. So let's just assume for a second that Jay says, yeah, I'd love to, I would like to learn more. I do need do need a little something. I can't even tell you. How many of you guys have had somebody make the joke like, I do need a Beachbody, LOL? Have you guys had people make that joke to you? Like, to me, that was all the time like, haha, I need a Beachbody. Like, it was a joke. To me, that's like my favorite thing, because it shows me that they have a problem I can help them with, right? And I go, well, I'm the person you need to talk to about that, but all serious, all joking aside, why don't we jump on a quick Zoom or FaceTime, Jay, and talk a little bit about your goals and see if it's something I can help with, right? And so I would try to get them on a FaceTime or a Zoom right then and there as we're messaging. But if they couldn't do it right then and there, then set an appointment, get them on a Zoom, FaceTime, and talk to them a little bit, find out what their goals are, right? Find out what their goals are, see how you can help them, and then prescribe a solution. So how would I do this in Teamzy? Let's say we're talking, we get on a Zoom, I take down all her goals. I recommend a program to her, a nutrition program, a workout program, and we get her scheduled to get into my next challenge group. How do I put that all in Teamzy? So let me show you what happens. So first off, Jay's no longer on my dashboard because I connected with her and she's in the cycle now. She's going to come back in 30 days. So I would go up here to the lookup bar to find her record. Okay. So here's her full contact record. I have all of our connects in here. Okay. I have all the details about her, my tags, all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on connect to open that box up, just like on the dashboard. And what I'm going to log in here that we had a Zoom. I'm going to put all my notes from our Zoom. Okay. And then I want you to click on share. See right here where it says share? So I'm taking this off Connect. And what did I share with her? Did I share with her how to get into my challenge group? Did I share with her how to become a coach? Was it a specific product share? So what are those, one thing that I used to do in my business was I used to sell, I'd let people buy 7 packs of Shakeology to try. I never gave people 1 pack. I gave them 7 packs because I wanted them to see how good they felt in a week, right? So they could try 7 packs. So that would be a product share. So let's say she's interested in the challenge group. So I'm going to click on challenge group. Okay. So what happened was when I logged this Zoom and I did it as a challenge group share, suddenly she's been added automatically to my follow-ups list. That's what that little calendar is. Now you can change that to any date in the future. It defaults to 2 days just in case you forget to set one. I'm going to set it for tomorrow. And then you log it. So this is actually, now you can see planned. I've got a follow-up due with her. Pretty cool, right? Now, if I go to my dashboard, let me show you how this looks. Now, when I go to my follow-ups list, there's Jay due tomorrow. So as you're having conversations, you generate interest, you invite people to a challenge group, or you invite people to try products, or you invite people to join your team, you put them on that follow-ups list. Why do we have to put them on the follow-ups list? Because 80% of them won't actually sign up like they said they're going to do today. Maybe more than 80%, maybe like 99%. How many of you guys have people that are like, yeah, send me the link, and then they don't do anything with it, right? So we need to follow up with them. So just tell them, hey, I'm going to follow up with you. I'll send you everything you need now. I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow, and see if you have any questions. They're like, great. Okay. So just a little side note on this. You guys, something that I found worked really well was if you have emails built out already that have all your links built into them with instructions and information and everything built into a nice email that you can immediately send to them. And tell that, when you're talking to them, say, I'm going to send you an email in a second that has everything you need to get set up. And you can actually save those emails in Teamzy as your own scripts, so that when you go to send a message to somebody, you can pull it up as an email and send it through Teamzy without having to do anything with it, which is really cool. And that's something that I always did. And that was really helpful, because then they in the email now they have the links and everything. Okay. So look, so Jay, tomorrow when I come to do my power hour, guys, I'm going to connect with my prospects, my customers, my coaches, just like I showed you. You always start from left to right, new day, new power hour. And then you see if you have any follow-ups due. My follow-up with Jay will be due. So the second half of my power hour will be going through my follow-ups that are due and sending a follow-up message to all those people. It's so easy. It's just like sending a regular message, a regular connect message. Again, you can go to scripts and get a follow-up message. Now, they're labeled follow-up. This is so easy. You can't mess this up. Follow-up number 1. They're in order, by the way. They're numbered. You send them in order, okay? Follow-up number 1. Here's how it reads. It says, "Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me?" So simple, okay? So copy the script, put it in there, change the name, get the name right. Okay, ready to go. We'll go send it to her for real. Jay doesn't mind that I send her these messages all day long when I'm demoing. So there it is. Send it. Boom. Don't overthink it. Now the follow-up message is sent. Okay. So now we're going to log that in Teamzy. Now check this out. When I log it, it's going to say, okay, did that complete the follow-up we had scheduled? I'm going to say, yeah, it does. And I want to add a new one. So let's follow up again. Let's say on Monday. Okay. So follow up again on Monday. You can leave yourself a note. It's going to be follow-up number 2. Okay, great. So now that's on the schedule and I'm done. So now you can see she's back on my follow-ups list due Monday. So on Monday, when I'm doing my power hour, Jay will come up to the top of the list again and I'll send her another follow-up. This time it'll be follow-up number 2. Okay. "Hi, Jane, just making sure you got my email and checking to see if you have any questions." So we're just following up. Now, guys, do you guys see how easy this is? So easy, right? So some of you are like, "Oh my gosh, this is so easy." So we create interest, we share, we invite people, we put them on the follow-ups list, we keep them on the follow-ups list. Now, this is the key. This is how you hit Success Club every single month. It's the follow-ups list. It's the follow-ups list. Every month, your Success Club points will come off that follow-ups list. Okay? That's where they come from. Now, some people will within 2 days get involved and make their purchase. Some people will take a year, but you keep people on that follow-ups list. As soon as they put their hand up and said, "Yes, I'm ready," and you've invited them and shared with them, you put them on that list and you keep them there. Now, let me explain something to you about the follow-ups list. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. Okay, 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. I know, it's annoying, right? But this is why you need to be prepared to follow up at least 10 times. Now, I'll never forget, I went to a Beachbody Super Saturday and there was a top coach who said, "I follow up 3 times." And I'm like, "Later." And I'm like, "Can I have your list of people that you said later to?" Because I know that she was only converting at least maybe 20% of her opportunities. Looking at it another way, she was only helping 20% of the people she could help. 80% of people take 7 to 10 follow-ups before they complete their purchase. Now, this is why I just want you guys to know there's nothing wrong with you. When you've had somebody who's super interested, and then when you start following up, you get nothing but crickets back. Anybody experience that? And you're like following up, and there's just no response. What the heck? Thought they were interested. That's normal. That's normal. Most people won't respond. Let's just be honest. Like Beachbody is not an easy thing. Like you got to work out, you got to eat better, you got to drink your shakes. It's not one of these things where you just take a pill. This pill is going to make you skinny. You have to do some work. It's change. So people are just kind of subconsciously going back to their normal lives even after they're excited. This is just normal. You guys have to stay in touch with them. That's all. You just stay in touch with them. You just stay in touch with them. Now, here's what's really happening when they're ghosting you. I hate that term, but people say it all the time, when they're not responding to you. What happens is I talked to Jay. I've listened to her. She's told me what her goals are. I told her, "You know what? We have the perfect program for you. You're going to love it. It's going to be great. I'm going to be there with you, coaching you through it. You're going to get great results." She's like, "I'm so excited." Perfect. I'm going to send you over the email with the links. I'll follow up tomorrow. I follow up tomorrow. No response. I follow up a couple days later. No response. What's happening? Well, I'll tell you what's happening. On her end, she's looking at my message. She's remembering how good she felt about what she was going to do. She's thinking, "I need to respond. But I can't right now. The dog's throwing up on the baby. I'm driving my car. I'm in the middle of making dinner." Whatever the case may be, it's just not convenient right now for them to respond to you. So you need to keep messaging them. You need to keep staying in touch with them for a while in some cases. Now, really quick, You guys can raise your hand if you fall into this category. How many of you are really a bit concerned about following up 10 times and coming across like a total annoying jerk? Anybody? This was a couple hands popping up. This was me. I was like, how do I do this without being annoying? And over the years, through my business consulting business, I kind of figured out how to do this. There's two principles to follow so you can follow up a ton of times and not be annoying. People will love you for it. You ready? I'm going to just teach it to you as a bonus tonight. Two principles for following up so you're not annoying. Number one, don't ask them to do anything in the follow up. Okay, don't tell them they need to respond or call you or text you. Don't tell them that, they didn't finish their cart, they didn't finish their purchase. Don't remind, don't ask them to RSVP for your next whatever. Don't ask them to do anything in the follow up, okay? So that's number one. The number two principle for not being annoying is make sure that your message is short and sweet, so short and sweet that they can read the whole thing without opening it. Right? They need to be able to read the whole thing without opening it. Why? Because in most cases, they're not going to even open your message because they don't have time to answer it. They don't want to send that read receipt and look like a jerk. How many of you guys do this? Yeah, so they're getting the message, they're just not opening it. So you want to make sure you make it easy on them. So don't ask them to do anything. Keep it short and sweet so they can read it without opening it. And if you do that, what will happen is as you continue to reach out to them, they will eventually respond. Now, most people might respond the first time, maybe after 6 or 7 follow-ups, way beyond where you usually would have given up on them. And they're going to say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I haven't responded. Thank you for staying in touch. Thank you so much for staying in touch. Does this make sense? But Teamzy makes this so easy for you. Every time you follow up with them, it's going to ask you, do you want to set another follow-up? You say, yeah, I'll set another follow-up. You just set it for whenever you want it, a few days, a week, whatever, put it back on their follow-ups list, stay in touch with them. So you do your power hour, whoever comes up, you send them messages. You get to your follow-ups list, you send them messages. You send a message, send another follow-up. It takes 2 seconds. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. What happens is over time, every single month, people convert. They come in. Does it make sense? Now, real quick on the following up, I just want to share my heart on this because this is an important piece of it. So I've taught you how to follow up without being annoying, but I need to shift your thinking on following up because the magic of this business is in your ability to follow up consistently. Okay. And so I want you to maybe you can adopt my mantra. This is my mantra. Following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. Look, if you're a Beachbody coach because you love people and you want to help them, how many of you that's you? Like really, like you want to pay it forward. You want to help people. Then you need to understand that as great as Shakeology is, as great as all the Beachbody products and workout programs are, they're not helping people if they don't purchase them, right? The only thing you actually have that can help somebody is your ability to follow up, your ability to show them that you actually care. And you said, I want to help you. They said, I want your help. And if you stop following up on them with them, then you've communicated, I don't care about you. But if you continue to follow up, then they get it. You love them and you do care, right? Does this make sense? Following up is an act of love. Write it down somewhere. Make it your mantra. Put it on a sticky note on your computer screen so that when you're feeling nervous about this, you can remember, this is how I love people. This is how I live out my values through my business. And I'm telling you guys what, if you guys follow this system of staying in contact with people, creating genuine conversations, listening, engaging, loving on people, and then finding people who are interested, sharing with them as a professional what you're doing, follow up, you'll have no problem hitting Success Club every single month. You'll have no problem. You'll have no problem. And if you can really focus in on those customers and getting them to introduce friends to you, you'll become a recruiting machine. You'll become a recruiting machine. Does that help? Okay, real quick, let me show you how to finish this off and then we'll get to Q&A. I see there's already some questions in there. So when Jay finally signs up, I see in back office she signed up. How do I do that? What I want to do is click on sale and just log that I got a sale. Just something simple. What did she get? She get a challenge pack? Great. So let's save that. And then I want to go in and I want to tag her all the programs that I know she's using, right? So let's say I tagged her for she's using vegan vanilla Shakeology, right? So I'll tag all the products. This is important to have these tags so that I know what products she's using. It also helps me down the road when there's new releases from Beachbody. That's a whole nother training, but then I can see everybody, let's say, that purchased an Autumn Calabrese program when there's a new Autumn Calabrese program. Make sense? Okay, so the tags are really cool. Now, what I do on the member type is I take it from prospect over to, if she came in as a customer, then I click on customer. That changes her to a customer. If she came in as a coach, I click on coach, and then PS stands for personally sponsored. Okay, so there it is. That's how you move over. Now, let me toggle over real quick to the Q&A. If you've got questions, guys, just put them in the Q&A, and I'll be happy to answer them. And I also see some stuff in the chat, so we'll start with the Q&A. Miss the 3 things people care about. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Okay, so Novia, you got that? The 3 things people care about. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Okay. Somebody says, will duplicate import, say back office every few months, remove duplicates or create them? Okay, so what it does is it doesn't create duplicates. If they're already in Teamzy, it will ignore them on the import. So you can only import them. You import them once and then it ignores them. So basically what that means is it will only bring the new ads to your back office in. Make sense? Okay. It won't create duplicates. Okay, also I got an anonymous. When we schedule follow-ups, do people still come on the prospecting list on the schedule based on their rank? No. Okay, great. Okay, so let me read the rest of it. So if someone ghosts and doesn't respond after the second follow-up and I don't schedule a follow-up, will they auto pop up on the prospect list? Okay, so the answer is if they're on your follow-ups list, they do not come on the prospects list. But if you don't have a follow-up scheduled with them, they will come back on your prospects list. Does that make sense? So in your question, the first question was, if they're on my follow-ups list, do they come up from prospecting? No. But then if you complete the follow-up and don't schedule a new follow-up, so in other words, they have no scheduled follow-up, they're back on your prospects list. So nobody can fall through the cracks for very long, if that makes sense. Okay. Nobody can fall through the cracks very long. Okay, great. Sienna says, do new contacts, followers, etc., automatically upload to Teamzy? No, they don't automatically upload. You need to add people. But here's the thing is we want to get in the mode of adding people every day. So for example, does Beachbody still, you guys can answer it for me. It's been a while since I was a coach, but I used to get free leads all the time from the Beachbody website. Do you guys still get those? So like for me on days when I couldn't think of anybody to add, I'd go look and they would give me free leads. I'd put them in. So we want to be adding people. Adding new people is really easy. There's this add contact button right here. You just add somebody. Okay. So for example, I'm going to add you, Sienna, so I can show you how easy this is. So you meet somebody on Instagram or whatever, you can add them on here and you just add them and you just create the contact. Okay. So now she's in there and I can make her a 3 or 4 star or whatever. She's in my cycle. Right. If I need to set a follow-up with her because we're already chatting about something, I'll put her on my follow-ups list. Okay, an anonymous said that made sense. Okay, so just real quick, if you have any more questions, guys, pop them in the Q&A. Now I've got a couple over on the chat. Marcia says, when was the best time of the month for you to start your challenge groups, and did you run free groups? Okay. So for me, I just listened to what the top coaches were doing and did the exact same thing. And so at the time, the top coach in Beachbody was starting her challenge groups the first Monday of every month, and that's what I did. So I started a new challenge group the first Monday of every month. For free groups, I did have a group that was free where people could just connect and where I would post and things like that. But I did a lot of free groups that were 7-day free groups. I don't know if you guys do this, but I found this was a great way to meet new people and get introduced to new people. So I would do a 7-day drinking water challenge. And I would let people add people to my group. Like members could just add their friends, and I would tell them, add your friends to this group, anyone that wants to do it. So people would, I'd get one person and they'd get 4 coworkers to come in and do the drinking water challenge. So then I would message all those people welcome to the group. I'm Eric. I'm a Beachbody coach. I hope we can stay connected. And so I would add people to Teamzy that way by doing those groups. I did drinking water. I did plank challenge. I did no sugar for 7 days. You name it, we did it. vegan for 7 days, like any kind of healthy challenge like that is a great way to meet. You could meet anywhere from 5 to 20 qualified leads by running a group like that. And those are people now that you're building relationships and Teamzy with, earning trust with, right? It's pretty cool. Zenobia says, OMG, I've been doing it wrong. I schedule follow-ups after I send a message before they respond. My number of follow-ups has been stressing me out. Yeah, it's a real common mistake, Zenobia. There's nothing wrong with you. But now you know you don't need to do that. Now, let me just show you a cool tool so you can clear all those follow-ups. Let's say you have like 6,000 follow-ups in there and you want to just start over. So what you're going to do is go to your team page right here and click on tools. There's some cool tools here, but one of them is follow-up contacts. And so this will show you all of your follow-ups. Now, if you scroll down, you can remove all your follow-ups with one click with this button, and it'll just clear them all. Or you can go down your list, and you can see I only have one, but you can go down your list and just check all the ones that you want to clear, and then you hit remove follow-ups. So that's a way to bulk clear that stuff up, which is pretty cool. Okay, great. Let's see here. I got one more question. How do you import your own scripts into your Teamzy scripts? Okay, great. So what you do is, well, let me go over to scripts. So scripts are inside the Connect box. So look, if I go into scripts, right here where it says new script, see this? So you just come in here and you put your script. Now you'll just paste, if you have them written somewhere, you just paste it and save it. Now, really important, when you make a script, you guys, make sure you add these tags. Like, is this for Facebook? Is this for Instagram? Is this for prospects? Adding those tags will make Teamzy put those at the top of the list automatically. So if you're on a prospect, let's say, and you go to scripts, it'll automatically bring up all the prospect scripts first. So if you haven't checked that, yours will be at the bottom list. If you check it, it'll be at the top. Does this make sense? So you can put your scripts in here. So you can see, like, for example, here's the example of that 21-day fix invite that I had. I mean, this is probably outdated, but you get the idea. So this was an email that I would send people about 21-day fix, and I had it in here ready to go. Okay. And it had like video clips on Shakeology, and it had my links and my cell phone number, and it had this Google Doc which explained how to order. And really what that Google Doc did was explain why they should order as a coach. And so if I want to send this as email, I would just click send as email, and it would auto load that email into Gmail and send it to them and log it in Teamzy. It's awesome. So you can upload all your scripts that way, if that helps. Okay, cool. All right. Marcia says, how many invites did you do daily as a coach? Did it vary? So like the goal, you can see my goal was three up here. And that's because that's, it was 3 invites a day type thing. But my goal would be I call them shares because the word invite confuses people. But when I say share, I mean invites, what you guys think of as invites. I wanted to do it 3 times a day, and you can see my goal was to connect with 19 people a day. So my point is I didn't share with every single person I talked to. Does it make sense, Marcia? Because not everybody's ready for an invite. It's like walking up to somebody and proposing marriage. I want to make sure I'm having a conversation and I've uncovered interest first. Does that make sense? But I knew that if I was starting 19 conversations a day, after about a month of doing that, I would easily be getting to 3 invites a day, because some of those conversations that maybe had been going on for a few days would be getting more mature. Does that make sense? So that's all. Hopefully that helps. The key is to be consistent. And of course, if you're using Teamzy and just sending hello messages and thinking this is easy, then you're not going to get the results that you want, because the results come from having good conversations and not being afraid to tell people what you do and why you're passionate about it, right? So you got to start the conversation, have the conversation, teach them, tell them what you do and why you're passionate about them. Ask them if they'd like to learn more. Take it to the next stage. Does that make sense? But again, we're doing it when they're showing that there's interest. So we're not burning bridges. We're just adding a ton of value. For some of you guys who are in here looking at this and you want more training on the actual conversation, I do offer a course in the Tmz University that you guys can check out, called The Art of Creating Conversations That Convert, and it go through 7 trainings on the different parts of having the conversation. But I want to give you guys a couple action steps tonight also. First off, make sure that if you're not using Teamzy, obviously get in there and get your free trial. We're going to do a special pricing offer for Beachbody coaches right now. We're actually offering Teamzy subscriptions at up to 45% off, right? So the normal price for a Teamzy subscription is $29.99 a month, which again, when I was a coach, that was the commission you got from a bag of Shakeology, right? It was less than that. So if you did one sale doing Teamzy, you'd pay for your Teamzy every month. However, right now we're doing a special deal where you can get Teamzy for $19.95 a month. That's like 60 cents a day to have your business plan for you, right? And you can lock that price in forever. So you can lock it in now and keep that price forever, grandfathered in, as long as you have a Teamzy subscription. Pretty cool, right? And also, if you guys wanted to do Teamzy for a full year, like 12 months at a time, and then it's like 45% off because it's going to be 198 for the whole year for 12 months. So take a look at those for sure. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me to have this planned for you and tracked for you. Plus, you write it off your taxes, right? But definitely share this. I'm going to put this up on our YouTube page tomorrow morning. Get the link and share it with your team. Actually, we'll email you the link, I'm sure. I'm sure Teamzy will email you the link, but share it with your team. Make sure they watch this training. I know it's kind of long, but we try to pack it with value because I'm really passionate for you guys. And I know that there's like a whole new group of Beachbody coaches since the last time, I was really engaged with you guys. And I want you guys to have this tool so you can build your business. And I know we can really help. So I appreciate you guys being here. Um, I appreciate you taking some time to watch this. Thank you so much for your business. We're honored to have it. God bless you. Have a great night. Talk to y'all later.